Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Matwaychuk, and the purpose of today's intermittent reinforcement email message is to talk to you about the self therapeutic process that we teach in REBT, which we refer to as disputing. In REBT, we teach you both healthy attitudes and a process for examining your unhealthy attitudes and creating alternative attitudes that will help you cope in a healthy way with adversity. I think people learn the healthy attitudes of REBT more quickly and often shy away from learning the self-therapy process, which we refer to as disputing. What disputing is thinking critically about your unhealthy attitudes. So you do this process when you notice, you catch yourself responding to life with unhealthy negative emotions or self-defeating behavior. The metaphor I like to use is the metaphor of driving your car and pulling it over to change a flat tire. This is something you do when you notice that you have a flat tire and you need to stop and fix it. Well, one should stop, preferably should stop, and dispute their rigid and extreme attitudes. First search for them and then dispute them when they notice that they're responding in a self-defeating way. Now, I think people shy away from disputing, even though we make these self-help worksheets, because they see it as a difficult and intimidating process. And I've thought about how to make it easier, and my good friend Dr. Wendy Dryden uses this one dispute he calls the teach-your-child dispute. And I was thinking about how when we dispute, we not only use that one question, but we use other questions. And we attempt to teach these other questions to people like, well, does your attitude that you have to do perfectly well, does that get you good results, or does it lead to you to be anxious or procrastinate? And then we might ask for evidence. We might say, where's the evidence that you have to do perfectly well? We might ask, is it logical to think that because you want to do well, you have to do well, or you have to do perfectly well? So we would ask for evidence, or is it logical, or what does it get you good results? And I'm not so sure that by teaching people all these different questions, we're going to be as effective as if we just start with one question. So what I have done is to devise a self-help worksheet with that single question. So if you look at this email and download the worksheet that's attached to it, you'll see that it has the A, the adversity, the B, the basic attitude, the C, the self-defeating emotions and behaviors, the consequences. But it has this single question, and then it asks you, would you teach your attitude to a child? And if not, why not? And what I really believe is that by teaching people to go to this one question, what it does is it gives them an imaginary interlocutor to think they're talking to, which is this imaginary child that they love, and put them in a mindset that makes disputing and coming to a healthier attitude easier to achieve. When we talk to children and they're complaining that, their friends must be a certain way or the world must be a certain way, we often say, well, is that working for you? Is that helping you cope with your friends? Or we might say to them, where's the evidence that all your friends have to treat you nicely? And we naturally fall into those questions. And I think that if I emphasize this single question, I may get people to learn the therapeutic process of disputing, or at least engage with it and try to do it on their own. Now, REBT has two goals. Its goal is not to just make you feel better or help you to feel better, but it's also to help you to get better, to teach you something that will endure and something you can fall back on over the course of your lifetime. And of course, the ideas we teach are timeless. But at the same time, it's good to know the process because it really helps you re-arrive at these ideas through the critical thinking process of disputing. So I would encourage you to download today's worksheet that's attached to this intermittent reinforcement email message. Print out a couple, have them at the ready, and the next time you get upset or engage in either procrastination or perfectionism or avoidance behavior or substance abuse, you take out one of these worksheets and then you begin to try to identify your rigid and extreme attitudes. But you also then try to dispute that attitude by saying, well, would I teach this attitude to my child? And my guess is that it's going to help you see, one, that you wouldn't, and two, help you begin to think about why you wouldn't, because it has on the worksheet, well, why would you not teach this idea to your child? And then finally, it helps you get in the mindset of creating an alternative, healthy attitude that you can then use and act upon to help you cope with the adversity that you're facing. Now, the other way to learn this process is to attend on Saturday my free Zoom conversation hour. And it's held at 9 a.m. in Philadelphia every Saturday. And what you will observe is me having a conversation with someone who is struggling to learn this process. And what we're going to do is help them see that they can examine the evidence, they can look at the functional impairment that these attitudes lead to by asking this simple question. And it's a great way to learn REBT. It's a great way to learn the process. It's a great way to learn the attitudes that will lead you to have healthy reactions to adversity when you don't act perfectly well or perform perfectly well. It's held at 9 a.m. on Saturdays. It's free to attend, and the people that attend learn REBT so much faster and better because they see it in a variety of different circumstances. They're not on the hot seat, so to speak, so they can observe the process that I'm doing with the person. And then at the end, they can ask questions, which also adds to their learning. It's free to attend, and at this time of the year, so we're in the month of November, and this Saturday will be November the 5th. That's 9 a.m. in Philadelphia, but the world's a confusing place, and different countries set their clocks back at this time of the year at different times. On different dates. And so it's going to be 9 a.m. in Philadelphia. That's 1 p.m. on November 5th in the UK. But it's 2 p.m. in Paris. It's 3 p.m. in Bucharest, but 4 p.m. in Moscow. It's 5:30 in Kabul, Afghanistan, but 6:30 in New Delhi, India. And it's 10 p.m. in Tokyo and midnight Sunday morning in Australia. So I hope you can attend, and I hope you print out today's worksheet that's attached. It's my new worksheet that is more simplified. And simple may very well be better. It may enable you to be less intimidated by the process of disputing. I hope to see you on Saturday, but more importantly, I hope you download the worksheet and then go and use it, because it's only by using it that you will learn to think critically about your rigid and extreme attitudes and then transform them into healthier, self-helping, flexible, and non-extreme attitudes that will bring out the best in you. So remember to stop and change your emotional flat tire when you get one, and you will learn REBT and bring out the best in yourself, and then you could go and achieve your goals of happiness, meaning, and survival. So I hope to see you on Saturday, and till then, take care.